Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Robotics. Today what I want to do is I want to answer a question that I got, and the question was, how can we combine the ultrasonic sensor and also the light sensor? And so the answer is yes, there's going to be many ways that we can do this. So I'm going to walk you through an example of one way to do it. All right. So the first thing I want to do is think kind of the design. Like, what do I want to happen before I actually start coding? So if you look at the whiteboard here, I'm gonna say we have two different modes of operation. Okay, we have mode number one, and mode number one is when my desk lamp here is on. So my lamp is on. Okay. And mode number two is a different situation. Mode number two is when my desk lamp is off. Okay. So here's my basic setup here. So I'm going to use the light sensor, right, to sense if my lamp is on or off. So we know that. Now, what do I want to do when they're in these two different modes? I'm going to say that when the lamp is on, like that, I want to use my ultrasonic sensor to avoid objects. Okay, so when the lamp is on, my robot's gonna move forward and then stop if it sees an object. Okay, so we have that. Now, if the lamp is off, what do I want it to do? For now, I'm gonna just say do nothing, and maybe we can change that later. But my first attempt at this is that if the lamp is off, just do nothing. Okay. Now I'm gonna also add another thing to here. I'm gonna add a LED to my setup here. So the LED will tell me what mode I'm in, and that's just gonna help me as I kind of continue coding. I just want to make sure I know what mode I'm in. So I'm gonna say that when my lamp is on, I'm gonna also not just use ultrasonic, but also turn on LED. And when the lamp is off, when I go like that, I'm going to turn off LED. Turn off LED. Okay. Again, I'm adding this so that I know what mode I'm in. All right. So let's go ahead and first wire the LED. So real quickly, I don't have an LED on here yet, so I'm just gonna do a quick schematic down here. We have our Uno. I'm gonna use pin number 7 to a resistor, to an LED, to G and D for ground. All right, let me wire that really quickly. I'm gonna turn on the light. Turn on the light here. Okay, I'm gonna turn off my power. So pin 7 to over here. To a resistor. Cool. And then I have my long leg to the resistor, short leg to G and D. You know what? I'm gonna save a wire here because I know that this over here I have a G and D by the button. So I'm going to stick the short leg over there. And then I'm just going to stretch this resistor over. There. There. So I saved an extra wire. So that should work. Okay. And so the first thing I want to do is I just want to code this part. I'm going to code, if the lamp is on, turn the LED on. If the lamp is off, turn the LED off. Let's just do that. Nice and simple. Okay. So the first thing, I have these numbers for my A0 levels for my light sensor. I'm still going to need that. So my challenge number 2 is just turn on LED if light is on, turn off LED if light is off. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a int LED pin. I used number 7 to control the LED pin. And then let's set up my pin modes. Pin mode LED pin is going to be a output. Okay. And let's go to my loop here. All right. I'm going to delete this stuff for now. Okay. So I have right here it's less than 110. Let's make sure that's correct. So right now it says if my light is on, I get 102. If it's greater than 102, it's going to be off. So I think 110 is a good number. So if I'm less than 110, then then my light is on. So I'll put a little comment here. My light is on. Okay. I could also say 102, but I like to put a little margin in there. Okay. So 110. So if it's less than 110, then let's turn the light on, or turn my LED on. So it's digital right LED pin high. And if it's greater than 110, let's turn my LED off, right? Because we know that as the brightness goes down, or I mean as it gets darker, this A0 is going to get bigger. So if we're getting dark and we're greater than 110, then I want to say let's turn my LED pin off. All right, let's test this out and see how we did. Okay. Okay, you see my green light here? It's on. Cool. All right, and if I turn my light off, my LED is off. Turn my light on, my LED is on. Cool. So let's go back to our plan here, my design. Okay, so I finished the yellow parts already, right? In mode number 1, when the lamp is on, turn LED on. Now, and also when the lamp is off, turn LED off. Now let's do this part. Let's say if the lamp is on, I want to use the ultrasonic to avoid objects. Let's add that in. So where do I put that? Well, I look at my conditional clauses here, and I see that my light is on right here. So that's where I want to put my code to avoid objects. Okay, I'll make some room here. Okay, So then I would say I do have a function, let's see, called move to wall, right? Move to wall. Okay. So what's going to happen is if the light is on, my LED pin will turn on high. All right, my LED will turn on, and then I'm going to move to wall, which is it's going to move forward until it sees an object. And I did something wrong here. Move to wall. Oh, I have to put my speeds. I'm going to go 200 and 200 for my speeds. Cool. So I'm going to disconnect this. So it looks like it's working. So you see it's, oh. So when the light is shining on it, it does this like move till it stops. Okay. Now if I turn the light off, it is still going. What's up with that? I think I know. Okay, let me show you again. So light is on, it does what it needs to be doing, right? But then when I try to turn the light off, you'd expect that what I want is that the motors would just turn off and this light would turn off. But let's see what happens. Nothing. Why is my light still on and why is it still moving? Well, it's a common thing, a common problem, a common bug. The reason that it's still going is because it's stuck in this function right here, move to wall. Because what does move to wall do? Move to wall is going to keep moving and it's going to get stuck there. Let's see. It's going to keep going until the distance is less than 5. So basically the code's stuck right here. So it doesn't matter if the light sensor is seeing something that is small or large. It doesn't matter if the light sensor is seeing that it's dark right now because it's stuck here. But once I put my hand in front of it, it's going to jump out of this piece of code, stop, and then it will work. See? And then now it doesn't do anything. So how do I fix that? This is one of the more difficult things to manage when you have two sensors going on. You want to be able to sense two different things at the same time, right? So we just got caught in a situation where it's trying to sense distance using the ultrasonic, but we also want it to sense light at the same time. And that's why we're getting this situation where like it's not stopping right away where we want it when we want it to. So what we need to do is we need to also detect light while we're in this loop right here, because this is where it was getting stuck, right? So how are we going to do that? Okay. Well, let's write a comment because that usually helps me. I'm going to say, while I'm looking for objects, if the light or if the lamp turns off, exit out of this loop. Okay, let me just explain that a little bit. So we're stuck in this while loop here, right? because it's gonna keep getting stuck here. It's gonna keep looking and be stuck here until distance is less than or equal to 5, right? So while we're stuck here, I'm gonna say, as I'm looking for objects, I'm also want to see if the lamp is off. Okay, and then if it is off, get out of this loop so that I can do the other code to stop everything. All right. So what do I need to do? I need to put code in here to check for light. So I can say analog read greater than 110, I believe. Okay, let's go back here. If, hold on, if analog read is greater than 110, because for me, if it's greater than 110, that means it's my lamp here is off. Then what I want to do is do something called break. Okay, so what does break do? Break means that I'm going to break out of this while loop. And you can put break anytime that you want. So I'm just going to say when this is true, right? So basically if my lamp is off, break out of the while loop so it doesn't get stuck there. And then what happens next is going to come down, do this, go to stop, and then my rest of the code will work correctly. All right, so let's give that a shot. That seemed pretty easy. Sometimes it seems a little bit too easy that it might not work, but let's see. Okay. All right, let's close that off. Let's upload. Okay. Okay, so right now nothing's happening. My light is off. That's cool. I turn on my light. I'm in mode number 1 because my light is on, and it's doing my go until you hit an object. Cool. Okay, so that's what it used to do. Now, moment of truth. What happens if I turn off the light? Is it going to stop right away, or is it going to get stuck in that while loop again? Okay, turning off the light now. It worked. Okay, so this whole break statement thing worked. Now, let's make sure it works again when I turn on the light. Yeah. Cool. Turn it off. All right, pretty good. So we have 2 modes of operation now. Mode number 1, it will go and until it sees an object. Mode number 2, it does nothing, and we're able to switch between the 2 modes correctly. Cool. So we accomplished our goal here. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it at that today, because I feel like we learned about the break statement and then got that working. Now, if you wanted to keep going and adding some extra moves, definitely can do that. For example, right now, going back to my main loop, I have it just move to the wall. Now, if I want it to move to the wall, back up a little bit and turn, I would just add my little functions here, like move backward 100, let's say, or I'll say 200. Let's say I want to move backwards for 500 milliseconds, and then I want to turn right. Turn right. How did I do turn right? Yep, turn right. Okay, I think that's correct. Then I'll have some extra motion there. Let's actually make sure that this works. So basically it would be able to, by itself, keep going rather than keep running into something, right? You want it to back up and turn a little bit before it starts again. Okay, let's see how I do here. Cool. It seems like it's working. All right, so that's there we go. Now there's another question that we got. Kind of the next step is to, what if we wanted to do some more complex things when my lamp is off? So in this situation, right, this is my light is off. So what if you wanted to not just do nothing when the light is off, but you wanted to do something where it also detected between like the situation where it's off and when it's super dark or something? You could also do that. You could add some more code here. But my feeling is that there may be some additional things that we need to do. It might get a little bit tricky, so I'm gonna hold off on that part for now, but we can explore that in another video. But of course, if you want to experiment, you are totally welcome to do that. All right, that's all I have for you today. Have fun with this. Let me know how it goes.